Anyway, hello everybody. If you're watching this, thank you for taking the time. As you can see, we're all dressed up. It's the Halloween special. That's what the promo was promoting. There was one of us that wasn't in that promo video. It's because I didn't receive any footage of her. So yeah. But Robin's dressed up. She looks lovely. There's the witch. The witch has joined us with blood.
Yeah.
I also brought my hired killer. I can't wear the mask. This mask right here, this beautiful thing. I'm allergic to latex, and I put it on, and my eye swelled up. So
It was amazing.
I can't wear
Maybe
it.
you need a mask to wear for the mask.
I need to put like a ski mask on first.
And then put the mask on.
That makes sense. That does make
Just
sense.
draw a
I
little
like
cartoon pig on your cheek. It's fine.
that. If I had
That's
that,
a
I
new
would.
version of a COVID-19 mask.
Yeah, exactly.
I was tempted to wear this one out in public, but
Yeah,
probably not looked at so fondly.
you might have been stopped and questioned. But yes, so yeah,
So I think we should probably start by explaining what we are
yes.
and why we are what we are.
Who would
So
like
I
to
don't know.
start?
I will start. So
Go.
Yeah, it was your idea.
it's my idea, so I'll start.
Yes.
Both their ideas.
So you may have noticed I'm Ghostface,
Just a
and
little.
I'm from this movie franchise called Scream. Yeah, I'm a killer in all those. I can be anyone.
Who?
So
Literally.
Sean isn't here tonight. It's Ghostface instead. So what's your favorite scary movie?
Oh, interesting.
You notice you've never seen Sean or Ghostface in the same room?
Is that your first thing? It's just like, I have worked out what this is.
Yes, exactly. I figured it out.
Fair point.
Regardless of all the technical issues that are going on tonight, with this
Yeah, literally.
podcast happen.
I think this has been the most broken start to a podcast that
Yeah.
we've ever done. Nothing worked.
Literally, if you're watching this, well done.
It worked just enough for us to make this. But that's a good question. What's everyone's favourite scary movie then? Since Ghostface is like questioning us apparently.
Oh yeah. Does this begin the Ghostface trivia section? What is everyone's favorite scary movies?
Well,
Since it's Halloween.
James is dressed up as my scary movie franchise.
What, Jigsaw?
Mm.
Or Saul? Yeah,
Exactly.
fair.
That's all body parts ripping and blood spewing, torture porn.
That's the thing. That's the
Cool,
one
cool.
thing I like. Cause I hate jump scares.
Mm.
But if it's gory, it's not bad. Like, for example, It terrified me. I had nightmares for about a week.
I love it.
So you'd rather blood and guts and not the well. There is some jump scares in Saw with the pig.
Yeah, although they're more like built-up suspense, I think, more
Yeah.
than... Dun dun!
Like, you can see it, something's going to happen.
And
You're
of course, it's the psychological horror of being trapped in a trap, trying to get out, and using all your brain power.
Which I don't have a lot of, so I'd be dead.
That it just grossed me out. I'm not really scared of movies, but I guess the one I've watched recently that actually scared me has got to be one that James showed me, Autopsy of Jane Doe.
Go for it.
Yeah, 2016, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2016.
Human centipede.
Creeped me out.
I can't watch that one.
That's just a thing.
The
I can't even watch
film, the one film that the only film I've never finished and I turned off because even I got fucking disgusted by it was The Human Centipede 2. Just no. It was grim.
Yeah, I think I've even watched the third one of
The
those.
series in black and white as well.
Yeah. It was not good. Like, the thing is with the first film, it was like the Human Centipede was done in such a way that it was still horrifying. The second one was just all out gross and gory and... I mean, I ain't got a problem with that, but... Oh, there was just, I don't know, something about cutting the fucking nerves in the knees and things like that. I was like, no.
I'll just take your word for that.
Probably
I'm not-
about sewing them out to the ass as well.
Yeah, literally. And then he stuck barbed wire on his... No, we're not even.
Let's
not.
change the
Let's
subject.
not. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. Robin, why did you pick a vampire?
I like vampires. I like vampire films. When I was a kid, I dressed up as a vampire. It's very me.
I think
When even when we had face painting, I was a vampire.
Oh, nice. I think
I love it.
vampires have always been my thing. Like Blade, Fright Night, all that kind of stuff has always been my
Underworld.
favourite.
Underworld, definitely.
What about Vampire Diaries?
I like
Oh.
it.
Yeah. When I was a
Gonna
kid,
do
I
that.
did like that when I was a kid.
I
Well,
like Vampire Diaries. I'll probably get a lot of shit for that, but I do.
And I did watch, I think it was the first 3 seasons of True Blood.
See, I was interested, but I never got into that.
Yeah.
That series felt more like it was about who can fuck who quickest.
Yeah, if my mum likes it, I know I won't like it.
Fair. There's that.
And it's proven true for everything that she's watched so far. All of those vampire series, they were bollocks, and then there was that bloody Game of Thrones. Ugh,
You didn't like it, did you?
no.
I heard of
I expected a lot of fantasy, and I did not get that.
No, you got the first episode.
yeah, some kind of fantasy.
Someone's sick fantasy.
Yes, that's what it was.
Aye.
There was no magic there at all.
But yeah, James, you got any favourites?
Oh, favourite scary movie. I almost forgot about that question. Ooh. Dunno.
I think we...
The House of Wax is a really underrated one for me. Dead Silence. The recent one that I watched, The Invisible Man, was pretty good.
Oh yeah, I recommended that one.
Yes, you did, and I actually did go and watch it. But we'll talk about that next time.
I liked how it brought it into the modern age. It wasn't just like magic and stuff.
Yeah,
It was proper updating of a classic.
it was pretty fucking horrifying. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like Jigsaw. Obviously, I was
Yes.
I think I gave it away a little. But
Still waiting for your actual answer, James.
too many. If I had to narrow it down, I'd probably say the first horror movie I ever watched, which was Blade. Blade 1. That was the first one I'd ever watched. Mainly, and funny story behind it, I stole the VHS off my mum without her knowing and watched it on my own and then had nightmares for like 3 years. When I was like a little kid.
James, may I just say one thing?
Please.
Shall I? You know he's going to be very upset with you. Freddy.
Oh, yeah, but Blade was probably my first one. Don't get me wrong, I love Nightmare on Elm Street, but Blade had, I don't know, it was good. It was the first Marvel film ever as well, so. Yeah, I
He's
loved it.
going to haunt your dreams now.
It just comes to me in dreams, you motherfucker.
I quite like the films in the Conjuring universe. Like
I do,
not all of
yeah.
Oh, I can't wait for the third one.
Yeah,
Ah.
that's mid.
it's so good.
I do like the Conjuring films, but yeah, the standout one that got me into horror in my first film was Blade, so naturally
Yeah.
I stand by that. But yeah,
Ooh, I just looked up the title for it now. The Conjuring 3 is basically The Conjuring, the devil made me do it. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh yes, and Scream 5, of course. I'm appearing in a sequel. New decade, new rules.
I haven't even watched the first one, so I won't be judging you.
Scream films are so good.
The only thing I know of the Scream franchise is in the actual, scary movie parodies.
Yeah, a lot of people,
So this is all I'm picturing.
a lot of people get confused between Scary Movie and Scream for some reason. It's a bit annoying for a Scream fan, but
Unfortunately, Scary Movie 1, which is a parody of Scream, is kind of very similar to how Scream is set up, so.
yeah. Well, Scream itself was kind of not a parody, but like a meta, telling of all the horror films that came before it, and then Scary Movie went the full hog of parody.
Yeah.
Okay. But, I mean, it's both great films.
Yeah, Scream was meant to be called Scary Movie, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That was like the original idea, and then they were like, well, we've licensed it already, fuck off.
both made by Dimension Films, so they're both kind of friends with each other.
So we have a film that's called that.
Yeah. Obviously, they changed the mask up a bit for the
Yeah.
wah.
Weather. I love it.
But So, Vic, why did you come as what you are? Wait.
That's a bit of a long story, actually. Like, people say I'm a goth. I don't think I'm a goth. Like, I dress gothic sometimes, but I think I'm really grungy. But anyway, Mum was like, "What's gothic? What can I get my daughter for Christmas?" This was a few years ago, and she just got me a ton of witch and like pagan books, and I thought, well, I'll read them because she's bought them, and I was actually really interested. And I think, to be honest, witches are my most favorite thing right now. So I came as a witch. Also, one of my most favorite songs currently is "I'd Rather Burn at the Stake." So why not? It just fits my current mood, I think.
You'd fit right in it, Salem.
Thank you.
I want to burn at the stake. Burn her.
Burn the witch.
Did you watch a lot of Sabrina the Teenage Witch as a child?
My mum tried to get me into it. I wasn't having it.
Mm.
What about American Horror Story?
Oh, I love that series.
No. My mum likes it. I don't like it.
I haven't seen it.
They're so good. So good.
If you like witches,
I don't know. I'll have to sit down and actually give it a chance. But to be honest, I only caught like glimpses of it from my mum watching it, and I was like, nope, I'm going.
There's a film called Witches. Have you seen that?
Isn't that the new one?
Well, the witches.
I think it's rated 15. It's just like
15.
4 girls have like witchy power things.
Oh, is
seen
that a
it, right?
series or a film?
It's a film.
Right. No,
It's
I
an old
just know
film.
about the one in 1990. Where, you know, they turn him into a mouse.
That's The Witches Roald Dahl.
Yeah.
The witches, yes. Oh, I can't wait for that new movie.
I'm not saying The Witches. I'm just saying witches.
Yeah.
Right, I'm Googling it as it was speak.
Let me check this. Ghostface.
Probably
continue.
not. Probably not, no.
What's next?
But it's not even coming up on Google, Robin. I'm just going to say you dreamt it.
Yeah, because I know an actress that's in it. Oh, I have to type in Waterboy to get the bloody film up.
Good God.
Who wants to do a little trivia quiz?
It's only a small one, but yes.
Quizzes right now.
That's
But this is a Ghostface quiz.
Please continue.
I know, because Jigsaw likes his games, and you know we want to.
Well, she wants to prove she's not crazy.
Yes, Jigsaw very much enjoys.
Oh
this game.
shit!
Hmm?
I got the fucking name wrong.
Yeah, I thought you did. Doesn't exist, man.
The Craft.
The Craft. Ooh.
Man, I've not heard of that one.
We can't see it.
That it didn't work.
Technology is failing you.
I know. I've got an idea. If,
Again, technical issues. It's just this today is
Yeah.
played with them.
Okay, 1996. We got 4 girls.
That would be my guess.
Oh no, who practice witchcraft against those who irk them. Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah. Did you see it?
I haven't watched it. I don't want to.
Okay.
I've never heard of it, so I'll have to look into it.
Okay, maybe I will, but I won't enjoy myself.
I won't enjoy it.
Now, who wants to play a game?
Depends what game.
Jenga.
The game or die.
I want to play a game.
I'm going to give you some horror trivia questions, and you're going to get them right, or you may not make it through the night.
Ooh, rhymes.
Well, that's it. I'm dead.
I like rhymes.
I know. I wasn't even trying.
I'm gonna struggle because my eyes are bleeding, you know, so.
Excuses.
I
You
know.
were eating a lot
I
more. Anyway.
Go on, bud.
Name the killer in Friday the 13th. Shout out the answer.
Jason Voorhees.
Jason.
It's
Oh.
the mother.
Yeah, the mother in the first one. Jesus.
Oh, but you didn't
What was it?
specify which movie. You just said Friday 13th.
And the first
Yeah.
movie's called Friday the 13th.
Well, they got all those parts afterwards, haven't they?
There's part
Did
one.
I say parts?
Technically, there's quite a few. I can't remember the mother's name. Voorhees?
Oh,
Mrs. Voorhees, Miss Voorhees.
close enough.
What's her name?
You better stop thinking better.
I said Jason's mum. Does that count?
Yeah, give it to Robin, because at least she had the
Thunder
right character.
Yeah,
She had the right
Robin
character,
gets
at
the
least.
point. And can I just say, I haven't watched those. The only film I've watched is Freddy vs. Jason. and I
Quizzes
love
aren't
it.
meant to be
Actually,
fair.
it's the first Friday the 13th. I did.
Name the actress who played Laurie Strode in Halloween.
I haven't seen it, so I wouldn't know.
Jamie Lee Curtis, wasn't it?
Well done.
Sorry.
You live.
Yeah, some woman.
How many Saw movies are there?
7.
Hang on.
Six.
Oh, are you including the one that's coming
Hands
out?
up!
Are you including the one that's
Shut.
coming out?
Yeah, including the everything.
9.
8.
Oh, Jesus.
Wait, were there 9?
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the final part, Jigsaw, and then Spiral next year.
That's 8. You
That's
said
8.
9.
Yeah. Right. Oh wait, there's Saw 1, Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4, Saw 5, Saw 6, Saw the final part, Jigsaw, and then Spiral. Sorry. Double
Alright.
check it if you want to, but I'm fairly certain that's it.
I think I was thinking about the ones that have already been made.
Oh, just do 8 then. Do 8.
Yeah.
Robin gets it.
Well done. You live to see another day. Drag Me to Hell was released in which year?
I wouldn't know this.
2012?
Wrong answer.
Wrong answer.
2002.
Too soon. So,
2013.
No, 2009.
oh, fuck. Wow,
Okay,
that long?
I thought 2007, but yeah. I
He was a lot older.
I did like that film.
I
Just for the
liked that as well. I didn't realize it was 2009. I thought it was in 2010 onwards.
Yeah.
Taking his hood off.
Name the doll in Child's Play.
Chucky.
Chucky!
Dick got that one.
Yay.
Yes, that's all the
Ice nuts.
That's it.
That's it.
Oh, I got one.
Robin, I actually think Robin won that.
She did.
Robin got 2, didn't she?
Yes.
Yes. Well done, Robin.
Oh, thank you!
Well done.
No, she got 3.
Oh, she got 3. Fuck it. Even more well done.
3?
I won't be paying you a bit.
Yeah.
I'll see you
the
soon,
Jason's
Ghostface.
Mother. And the last 2.
Yeah, I did.
Lord Robin, keep track of your own
Oh,
points.
bollocks.
I didn't
yeah.
realise it was keeping track.
Yeah.
Didn't ask to keep track. Well, excuse me.
I was promised to drinking and fun, not to keep track of shit.
Yes.
Oh, fair.
You're not even drinking blood. You're the worst vampire.
But it's a very good colour, though.
She could be
It's
drinking
gin,
cold blood.
isn't it?
WKD.
I
Yes,
was gonna say WKD is.
I will
pussy.
show you the bottle.
And
I've got to take these teeth out.
Actually, that's a question. What are we all participating in the drinking department tonight? Unless you're not drinking alcohol, of course.
Oh, you know mine. I'm Jen.
Woodgate Devonshire Scrumpy Cider, but I can't drink it yet.
Oh my!
I'm just thinking of Ghostface scrumping for apples.
Can you imagine Ghostface bobbing for apples? That mouth is gonna win.
Oh, it's so cold.
I am participating in my usual Jack Daniels and Coke, since that's all I ever drink now. If I do.
I think the unmasking ceremony is in order.
Oh, who
I
was
have
playing?
cranberry juice.
Who was
Who's
playing?
under attack, you may ask.
Ta-da! You were right. It was Sean all along.
I playing a trick. I just wanted to be internet famous, okay? I wanted to be a YouTuber
Why would you want this?
because no one gets famous by skill anymore.
It looks stressful.
True. Scream like an idiot at a game.
I can finally have my drink now.
Finally.
Shame there's no hole for you to drink.
We already went through this. Put a straw through his eye.
Yeah. There's a tiny hole at the top of his mouth, but it's not big enough for a straw.
I was going to say, that would be very difficult to drink through if you were to.
Yeah. And I think they assume that you've got like a child-sized nose with these masks. Like, push dipping it.
They expect that you're Voldemort.
Or you're addicted to cocaine.
or you're addicted to a substance that'll make you rose rot. That's what I was going to say.
Rose?
Your
Rose?
nose rot.
YouTube birds tweeting already.
Jesus.
But yeah,
Fair.
do we have any childhood memories where we remember being like our most scared?
Ooh.
Halloween.
Who would have guessed it?
Any particular Halloween?
It was after a Halloween party years ago when I was a kid, and I just woke up and I thought a vampire walked into the room
Oh Jesus!
when I was sleeping. I
Aw.
just woke up. I woke up and I thought I saw a vampire.
I don't know whether I'd get excited or upset though if I ever had that. Wake up and just be like,
Excited.
vampire? Well, hello.
It was tall. He was
Better.
tall.
He was tall, dark, and handsome.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's two. There's two. One of them was to do with the ironing, or like the Abominable Snowman, I think it was called. And she said, "Don't watch this; it'll be scary." And of course, I want to watch it then. So I sat there, and because I knew it was scary, I was just hugging a towel. I caught one glimpse of the thing. It was very, very bad puppet, and scared the shit out of me. I couldn't sleep for like a whole year.
Jesus.
And then the other story was when I had hallucinations. I was sick, I had a fever, and I just saw loads of different crap. Like one was running down the stairs, and there was a giant boulder coming after me like an Indiana Jones. And then I was sitting in my room, and Mum came in with a glass of water for me, but I thought it was the Grim Reaper, so I started attacking her. That was amazing. Took me to the hospital, nothing wrong with me.
Oh damn!
Yeah,
Maybe
but that was really scary.
You've got some fucking problems.
Yeah, yeah.
There's me thinking, Jesus, I've got issues. No, I'm alright.
Nothing wrong with me, just thought I had a bout of hallucinations just because.
When I was a child, I used to have a recurring dream that aliens came down and like beheaded my grandma.
Oh, Grammy.
Jesus.
I know it's such a horrible thing, but it's
Yeah.
like I used to have that dream all the time, and I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know. That's where my fear of old people comes from.
That is why I fear the elderly.
Me, I fear my own brain and Yeti. So you fear old people,
What?
and then Robin fears vampires, but then she also loves vampires, so then she's got some pretty sick fantasies there.
Vampires are like my
Yeah.
favourite mythological thing. They
But the
always have
thing
been.
is, with vampires, there are good vampires and bad vampires.
Because of your slip up, I now want to make a vampire. So it's like a bloody pie. I love it.
Oh, God, that's grim.
Honey, I'm a baker. I will make it work.
Good luck.
Just a steak pie, but you know.
I did have a
I was
Twilight
thinking more of fruit.
What
Yeah.
were you saying, Robbie?
I did have a Twilight cake years ago for my birthday.
Oh, God, Twilight.
Did it have blood in the middle?
No.
Was it covered in
It
hair?
was for my 18th. It was just Edward and Belle on the cake. It was specially designed for me.
Oh,
Oh.
I know.
that's cool.
It was such a surprise as well. I wasn't actually expecting to have a cake because this was Ellie was with me in this time, James,
Oh, yeah.
and so was Julie and Laura.
God, I miss all of those lot.
Yeah, here we are having pudding, and then this cake comes in and appears in front of me with 18 in the cellar, and that's like, oh,
Oh my
I-
god!
Was it
I
delicious?
did love Twilight back in the day.
And did it
Back in
sparkle?
the day.
Actually, there were bits of sparkle in there.
Oh. Say it, vampire cake.
Say it.
Say it.
I don't know.
Right, James, come on.
Whoa. Oh,
It's your turn. Answer the damn question, fool.
what was the question again?
Any scary things happened when we were a child?
Yes.
Nothing really. I don't remember anything particularly scary. Something that freaked my mum out though, when I was a kid and I was downstairs with her. And it was around Halloween time. We were sitting there watching TV, and I was like, look, I kept looking out in the kitchen. And one of my grandfathers at the time had just passed away, and I kept looking out in the kitchen, and Mum was like, "What the fuck are you looking at, you little shitbag?" Not literally, my mum's lovely, but she was like, "What are you looking at?" And I went, "There's an elderly man in the kitchen." I keep looking at him, and he keeps looking at me, and my mum was like, "Fucking hell, I've got the child from The Sixth Sense." Oh God! So yeah. That's probably the only really freaky thing. I guess that always kind of freaked me out until I got older. But, I don't know. Weird, man. It's weird.
Do you have any irrational fears as well?
Spiders.
Yeah.
Same.
Fuck
Water.
spiders.
Rather,
Small
water, but I
spiders
can't see the
cope
bottom.
with like money spiders, but anything bigger than a money spider, I'm running through the hills.
I just get my Hoover.
Yeah.
Like, nah,
Trusty Hoover.
no,
This is
no,
why I have bad luck. My boyfriend's killing spiders.
They're gross. I thought, Eight-Legged Freaks, when I watched that, even though it's like a black comedy, when I watched that for the first time, I didn't sleep for like 5 weeks. I was
Yeah.
like, spiders are huge.
My sister has the same spider fear, like really irrational. I don't know.
Don't like it.
Her whole face just changes, like she's like freezes in the spot. You're like, oh my god, we have to get rid of this thing.
Yeah, I literally won't leave the room until I know it's gone or dead.
Yeah. I don't like the really big, like spangly ones.
Oh, you mean the one that, like the first time you came down mine and you had to hoover one up?
Oh. Yeah.
Because I was like, no.
My first asks was the Hoover spider off the wall.
And you do it like a trooper.
Fucking thing was huge, man. It was fucking enormous.
We had a 24-hour stream to get through, and there's a spider lurking.
Yeah. Fucking terrifying. Oh, Jesus.
A
What
lot of
about,
scream.
what about everyone else? Anyone else got any irrational fears?
I think
Like proper-
definitely water that I can't see the bottom of.
Fucking
So like in the ocean, lakes, deep ponds, stuff like that. And even pools if they've got a dark base. I don't like it.
So is that not more fear of like the unknown, fear of the dark? I don't know.
Well,
No, you
basically it just stems to I don't want to drown and then no one can see me at the bottom to rescue me.
So what would
Yeah,
happen?
that's a question now. Ocean, is it worse if you can't see something coming to attack you, or when you can see it, like clear water? What do you guys think?
Probably worse if you can see it.
Yeah, I'd say if
The
I
next
couldn't see
one.
it, I'd probably be less panicked.
Yeah. You probably
Yeah, until you know it
Jaws
takes
eating
it out
my
of you.
Well, put it this way: if I could see a shark coming towards me and it was going to rip me in half, I'd be fucking petrified till the end. If I couldn't see it, however, I'm going to feel a sharp prick for like 2 seconds and then I'm dead. I'll happily take that over seeing the bloody thing and living through the terror first.
You just see like the jaws of a whale coming up around you. Oh shit.
Oh, can you imagine being swallowed by a whale? Nah. Nah, I'm alright.
I never thought we'd talk about that today.
I don't think you can be swallowed by a whale.
Probably
Hey,
a
Jill was-
great
Swim
white.
out there, right?
Sorry, Robin? What was that?
Probably a great. Was it a great? Oh my gosh, I'm useless in mammals. The biggest whale. Was it the great
Oh, great.
white
Well,
whale?
Well, I think
The
there's a
blue
blue.
whale?
Blue whale.
Yeah.
The
Probably.
biggest mammoth. You probably could get swallowed by that.
If
It's
you
a
were
huge-
unknowingly in its path.
Swallowed
Yeah.
though.
Oh, can you imagine? There. That, oh, that's...
It would smell.
I tell you what, that kind of picture scares me. Have you ever seen those pictures with like divers that are in the sea, and some of them are obviously drawn and not real, but like they've got like a giant sea creature that's just about to eat them, and they're like tiny compared to its jaws.
Well, Pinocchio got swallowed and by a whale.
Pinocchio.
Yeah, Pinocchio got swallowed by a whale.
When was this?
Nice.
What happened to Pokio? Pokio? Fuck.
Pinocchio? I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna name my firstborn that. Pinocchio.
Yeah.
Pinocchio
Pinocchio.
was
yeah.
looking for his
I knew that.
dad. He got lost in sea, and his dad got swallowed by a whale as well.
Oh.
You guys have not seen Pinocchio?
I have, but I've blocked it out because it was so terrible.
I never actually knew that was the story of Pinocchio.
It was, but it's like
Oh.
more towards the end. That's how he
Right.
becomes a real boy in some ways.
All I know about
Oh,
Pinocchio is
right.
in Shrek, I think.
I only knew that his nose got longer, and that was euphemism.
You've just reminded me of why I am also terrified of Pinocchio as well. You know that scene where the kids are being turned into donkeys? Scared the crap out of me. You just see the shadow. Oh my god.
That's a
Scarred me for life, that did.
One thing I hate more than spiders is probably moths. I just
Moths?
dislike moths because they can fly all over the place and they don't care if they get up in your face and it doesn't matter.
They just piss me off.
But I think something that's, I wouldn't say it's an irrational fear, but it freaks me out is seeing
It's definitely an irrational fear because they can't hurt you.
it's like upturned boats, you know, like cargo ships.
Mm.
If you see the bottom of one of those, like for some reason that really like freaks me out. I don't know
I
why.
see a chicken's ass in the corner of the screen.
Well,
That's terrifying.
oh, thanks for your concern, Robin.
Oh,
Telling a very
I thought it was a
fictional story.
statue.
No, it's an
It's
actual
not
chicken.
to move.
Yeah, it's a real chicken.
It's a
Yeah,
real
it's a
chicken.
real chicken.
It's a fucking chicken. Oh, chicken.
Are you
This
going
is the
to
real-
eat
This
it
is the real
later?
star of the stream.
No! It's a veg chicken.
Oh my gosh, that,
Ah.
how
What's
old is
it
it?
I have no idea. I just got it yesterday.
What?
Mum,
Okay.
Mum had a present for me, right? She's like, Tor, I got a present for you. I come round downstairs thinking it's the donuts I asked her to pick up from the shop. for me. And there was just this carrier on the worktop, and in there was a chicken with not only a cold, but a broken leg.
Oh.
I say broken, it's just busted. It should settle down after the swelling has gone down, but...
Wait.
What?
I say broken, it's just busted. Do you know what that means? It's broken.
No, the bone is intact,
Where did
but
she find
I'm not
the
getting into it
chicken?
right now.
No.
Where did you find the chicken?
On the street.
On the farm. Because we have horses as well, and they have chickens on there, and
So it's actually your chicken.
it's my chicken now, yes.
Yeah, it was someone else's before that.
Yeah, before Mum brought it on.
If you've
Yeah.
lost a chicken recently,
That I
please
haven't
contact the
today.
podcast and on this number on screen now.
It's okay, Monica knows we've got her, it's fine.
Oh,
We
so
have-
Monica gave the chicken. Are you giving the chicken back to Monica?
No.
Why?
We're taking
Please
it.
phone the chicken line.
It's not safe there, clearly.
Oh, Robin, I have a question for you.
Uh,
How many chickens do you think she's got? And I mean in her house now, like in her actual house, back garden, that kind of thing. Not at the farm, in her house.
I would have thought it was just the one.
3.
This, including this one, I now have 5.
Nice.
There was 4 down the shed, James,
Oh, Jesus.
and now this is 5.
Yeah, I can't keep track. You've got fucking 2 ducks, 4 dogs, 1 cat, fucking 4 guinea pigs.
2
You're gonna fucking
dogs?
farm.
4 dogs?
4 dogs, Jesus. Jesus Christ, Wolf,
4
you're trying
dogs.
to fucking adopt a farm in your house.
See, now I'm losing
Have
track.
you got a
4
cow?
dogs.
That's me.
I've got a cow called Daisy.
No, we've got a duck called Daisy, though. We've got Daisy, Donald. Those are the 2 ducks. We've got the
We
5
obviously
chickens.
know what that duck is named after.
Trump.
Donald Duck.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
precisely.
Shame on you, James.
Yeah.
You didn't know.
You're talking about scary
4
things, guys.
pigs and a cat, and then the 4 pigs, which are
Having-
also...
If you go into Vic's house, that is a fucking horror show. The amount of animals there, you're like, Christ, how do you fucking afford to feed them all?
Yeah.
We
feed them the leftover
don't buy new
humans.
clothes until they're falling off us.
If I ever need to get rid of a body, I'm just gonna bring it around to your house.
Chickens eat anything.
That's not. Jesus.
Devoured by chickens. That would be a nasty way to go.
After a podcast. Oh fucking hell.
No.
Oh, poor chicken.
Like, I want to go.
Oh,
She's
put it
like, I
back on the
want
cage.
to scream. She likes looking at herself in the mirror. That's why she's on the desk.
I want attention now. Look at me.
Chicken is now the mascot.
Yes.
Oh.
Can you shift over a bit because you're taking.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Beautiful
Right, stay
chicken.
there. There we are. Okay, now it's your turn to ask them some questions.
So, Chicken, what's your favourite scary movie?
Chicken Run.
Funny enough, we watched that yesterday. Didn't we?
Oh,
The
Jesus.
making of McNuggets.
Chicken pie.
He popped his
I
egg
do
in.
like chicken pie, actually. Chicken pie's very tasty. Random thing to say, but
So glad I didn't eat chicken today.
anyway. I'd feel so guilty.
I
I ate your
Oh,
bread.
don't, you bastards.
Oh.
Sorry, James.
But yeah, do you have any favorite like scary games or animes or anything?
Ooh. What's your
Death Note.
I see. I don't know. Death Note was a weird one for me because I don't hate it, but I found it like it dragged. I couldn't like even I've struggled to read through the manga of it as well. I find that it drags on too long, but it makes sense to drag on too long. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing. I couldn't stick with it. Yeah, I think games. I could list fucking games for you.
Outcast. Friday the 13th.
Uh,
Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, they're not scary though.
Do you know what the fucking game that comes to my mind? It was scary, rage-inducing, and I'm never gonna go near the nightmare difficulty again.
Good isolation.
Letter A.
I love how Sean's face, like he looked up and went, "Oh, not this shit again." He really needs, he needs to let it go. Like,
Let it go.
yeah, no, it was.
You need to revisit it.
I think what out of scary horror games that actually scared me, Outlast was one, definitely. I fucking
It's still dead.
yeah, still scared the shit out of me, and that's disturbing as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
saying. You don't normally play a game where a man's fucking a corpse with no head. That's pretty unusual.
Just sounds like my Friday night in the house. So,
And it's lovely big friend Bernard, who is called Chris.
Yeah, Bernard.
Bernard.
I can't take credit for that. I didn't come up with that name. That was someone else who shan't be named because it's not fair because I don't speak to him anymore. But yes.
But I still love the name though.
Oh, definitely. She was a genius when it came to making up shit. Yeah. How about you, Sean?
As far as games, I'd probably say Alien Isolation. Like not playing it on nightmare difficulty because you know
You're not a sadist.
that's the case. Playing that on like hard difficulty was one of my greatest achievements because like, oh my god, just because the fact that it's so unpredictable, the alien AI is like,
Fucking very
Yeah.
difficult.
it really gives it a sense of danger all the time.
Yeah.
You never know what it's going to do, and it learns your moves and stuff, and you've got to constantly change your play style for it.
Yeah.
I'd say that one. Layers of Fear was pretty of a mind screwy one,
I forgot.
but I wouldn't say it was particularly horrifyingly scary, but it's
Do you know a simple one I think we could all agree on? Slender. Simple, go get pages. You know, don't worry about it, man. Just pick up some pages, turn on some generators, you'll live. Why was it so scary? Like, fucking Jesus.
All the build up to him, I guess.
Oh, it was. Oh, I remember. That's one of my.
Backstories. He was just everywhere.
Yeah, he was pretty unnerving, shall we say?
Yeah.
It's Resident Evil 7 as well. That's pretty
Ooh, that was a very good game.
scary.
I
Just because
enjoyed
the fact it was so kind of next gen,
it.
and
It was very
Yeah.
good. I remember
And there's like a VR headset with Until Dawn: Rush of Blood. That's scary when you play it for the first time because so immersed with this headset on, you're like, oh.
Oh, how did I forget? Alan Wake.
Oh yeah,
That's a good one. I do like Alan Wake. I'm looking forward to Alan Wake too.
well, it's made by the same people as Control.
Until Dawn.
Yeah, Remedy.
Remedy.
What about you two, you girls? What was your favourites that come to mind? I know, Robin, you said Outlast, but
I'm a big fan of Outlast. Not so much the second one. Still got a soft spot for Until Dawn. Fucking Wendigo.
Yeah.
interesting one. I didn't find that one so much scary though. I don't know why. I couldn't get
Through
it.
the first playthrough, yeah, like if you don't know what's going on, it's a little bit creepy or unsettling. Not scary though. I have to agree with you though on that one.
Mm. It's just the fact that you had to hold your controller so still on the final bit, and you're like,
Yes.
moving it, it's still moving.
I put it down on the table. It didn't move.
How did I fail it?
How did I fail it? What the fuck? Ow.
Are you okay there, John Kramer?
Yes, I'm old. I just hit my knee. My
Sit
eyes were
still.
getting strained because of the screen, so I had to turn my light on.
Better?
Better. You know you when you're hungry. Snickers. We're not sponsored.
Hashtag not spun.
Yeah. But yeah, any other games that you found, Robin?
Well, remember back in the day, I was quite obsessed with Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Quite. I must admit that is a game I miss us all playing. That we used to make a lot of good funny
That's
things on.
because there is someone in this video call got us into another game
Yes, Sean.
called DVD.
Yeah.
Yes,
that's always
I do
fun.
like DVD now.
Yes, I do.
But
enjoy it.
I blame Sean.
Been able to play it properly since
Well, I have both
all
of them.
this being shared.
With Chad in his speedos, I'm open to playing that.
I love always. Do you know what I love more than anything in that is Sean was holding his drink, just like, oh, I believe dressed up in the speedos. I go,
Yeah,
oh,
I
yeah.
love it. Cheetos.
I'll happily dress in Cheetos. I mean, they won't suit me, but Cheetos.
Yeah, do we have any like ghost stories or like articles or anything that you want to
I got fucking
bring up?
hundreds of stories.
Robin?
Well, yeah. Has anyone got
Uncle
any
Robin.
interesting?
This is a true story and something very, very bizarre that happened to my father's friend years ago. Even to this day, he has no idea how it's possible how this happened, and it's strange. Basically, two of his friends got married at a very, very early age, about 16 back in the day.
It's really short, sorry.
And they rented one of the houses up by Ueni Priory, and because obviously I can't say names, but the wife found a job as a cleaner for the big house, so she was doing that, and she wasn't there for very long. I can't remember how long she was there for, but it was definitely, it's probably a couple of weeks. Basically what happened is that she thought she saw a child quite a few times, and the child's been pushing her and all that, and her husband just, so your imagination and all that. But her mother came one day and she was just showing her around, and the mother would not go into one of the rooms. She refused to go into one of the rooms. She didn't say why. She just refused point blank to go into one of the rooms. I think it was not long after, again, she kept saying there was this child that just kept pushing her until one day the husband's got a call one day saying his wife is in hospital. And of course, he quickly went there. They not only were the doctors there was police there. And the first thing they said is, "Have you been beating up your wife?"
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's like, what? No. Okay, he goes, okay. Have you got a child? And he goes, no. They took pictures. They showed her back, and there were 2 small handprints bruised on her back.
Jesus.
And she even, 'cause I actually met her once, and she actually told me her side of the story. And she literally told that she was just at home one day down the stairs, and this boy that she always seen literally pushed her down the stairs, which explains the bruised handprints. Until this day, Dad thinks it's weird. We just don't know how on earth that's happened. But this is the even bizarre thing again, is when they eventually moved out, the husband came back to the house to find that the bed had cracked, flat down in the middle.
Jeez.
And this is even
uncomfortable.
Just wait. And it turns out, after research that they've done, right opposite where they were staying, there's a church, a very, very old church. And it turns out there are a lot of graves of young children there.
Yeah, no, fuck that, I'm out. Nah.
So yeah, there's that story.
Jesus. Oh yeah.
Can you imagine being in that position? I know Sean's a little, from our past experiences of talking about ghosts, he's a little bit more skeptical, I believe.
I'm a bit of a skeptic, yes.
Understandably.
I don't know. I'm more of a hard science guy.
I would say, though, it's fair to be like that. Like, seeing evidence is more compelling than hearing about it.
This is why my dad's so confused about this, because he's into science. But like he said, he doesn't understand how on earth there is, like, handprints on her back of like a small child. He does not understand how on earth that happened. That's the only thing that's bugged him ever since. He thinks there's an explanation somehow, but what is it?
Yeah, I don't think there's a reasonable explanation for that, at least. That would be my opinion, anyway. Anyone else?
I have got a lot more. Do you want to hear it?
I got plenty as well, but just in case. Vic or Sean?
I'm a man of science. I do not have any stories.
I don't have any. James, you asked me this question before, and I told you, fuck off. It's not science.
All right, okay. Well, we'll change it up a little bit for Sean. What would make you believe?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Or if you heard anything.
Or when lockdown's over, will you come with me to one of the most haunted places in Wales?
Which is?
Well, I still feel feelings of scared, and I don't know. But yeah, I need to see like facts and stuff. I need to make, if it 100% doesn't make sense in like the real world, then I may believe it. But as far as like seeing a picture of like, oh, there's a ghost printed in the background, you're like, no, it's not. It's just a tree.
I'm very much of the mindset of I'm a believer, mainly because of my experiences, but I am very skeptical when I see like photos or hear stories. I'm very much a person that's like, I believe in it, but I have to have some evidence for it as well. Otherwise, I feel like that's why a lot of people don't believe it, is because a lot of people make up stories and say stuff with like fake Photoshop pictures, and I think it gives it a bad rep. Whereas, when you experience something, if you're in a place and you feel the energy, or you capture an EVP, or
Yeah, and it's weird because I don't believe in that stuff, but some people believe in like religion and things, and like that's okay because there's no scientific evidence for any of that, but people believe it. Like there's beliefs and faith, and then there's paranormal things.
One of the things that I came to accept was that you have to kind of believe in a part in religion if you believe in ghosts.
Yeah.
because technically demons and stuff like that, evil spirits are linked to hell, and that is a part of religion. So you can't pick and choose what you believe in. You have to accept.
Everyone has to believe in something.
Yeah. If you're not hurting anyone, what the hell? But
Yeah.
I've had a few experiences that have made me a believer, man. I'm a believer.
Oh, tell us about your experience.
Which one do you want to know?
Experiences.
I'm not, if I told them all, we'd be here for hours. So I'll,
That's fine.
We've got time.
James, you fill out the podcast. I don't like doing that. I'll try and think. Well, do you want to hear about my most compelling one, or do you want to hear about the first one I ever had? Well, second one, I guess, because you've heard about the first one.
Most compelling. Just make a believer out of him.
It won't work. He shared this story, I think. When I was on holiday with me and my family, he's like, "Ghost face. If it's not a good story, I'll cut you up into tiny pieces." Okay, now I'm scared.
Sorry, I put my butt up.
I don't know. I think to cut a long story short, me and my family, we stayed in a hotel. It was a hotel for my mum's 50th, I believe. And me and my auntie were going around. We were told the place was haunted. This guy who worked there was showing us around, telling us all these stories. We weren't capturing any EVPs. My auntie's like me. She's very much, if you don't see anything or feel anything, nothing's there. So we were going around. We were doing it for about 2 hours. Nothing had come up. And then suddenly we were taking photos of a staircase. I have the phone right behind me over there, and I still need to get it fucking fixed. And I took a photo with that phone, and I shit you not, half a face and a fucking shoulder and an arm going towards the banister on the stairs, reaching out, and you could see it was there. There was no trickery, nothing like that. And then I kept taking photos of the area, and we didn't notice it at first, so we carried on. And this guy was like, "Oh, I've got to obviously go off and do my job. I can't just show you around being like, ghosts here, ghosts there. You know, that's not my job." So he went off, and me and my auntie went, and he hadn't told us anything about the place. We knew nothing about it. And my auntie, I was filming her kind of sitting in a corner. I was like, what? If it was 6 years ago, I would have been 23 now, so 17? 16, 17. I was sitting in a corner just filming her. So fucking nothing here. It's just boring. I want to go home. And she was like, she was doing an EVP. She was trying to talk to whatever was there. And she was like, "Oh, my hand's gone cold." I was like, "Yeah, all right." Just filming. All right, yeah, sure. And we left there, and she went, "Yeah, I felt like a young child, for some reason, a boy touching my hand." I was like, "Yeah, all right, whatever." So we went off, and we told the guy, because the guy came back, he was like, "Yeah, I just told my manager what I'm doing, he's fine with it, whatever." And he was like, "Oh, interesting, all right." And we were like, "Fuck, bit weird of a weird reaction. Interesting, nice." And then obviously we went across, and part of the building had burned down in the past. He told us, and it was damaged. It was off limits to people. He let us in. Long story short, he locked the door behind us because no one is allowed in there. You're not allowed in. It's a cordoned off area. No people are allowed. It's as simple as that. We went up there, filming, taking photos, and it was like dust fucking everywhere. If you wanted to say there was orbs there, you could have made an incredible story, because they were everywhere, because it was dusty as fuck. And a guy came up the stairs, didn't say anything, sort of just looked at us, tall guy, and we were like, "Oh, if we got to come back down." We obviously thought we were being told that we couldn't be there, like he had got in trouble or something. So we were like, "Oh shit." Didn't say anything, literally came to the top of the stairs and then walked back down, and we were like, bit fucking weird, but alright, let's leave. So we went down, and we heard the door unlock. Oh, fuck. Did he lock it behind the guy as well? Oh, okay, maybe, stop people coming up. Fair enough. Let us out, and this was at like 1 o'clock in the morning by this point. And the guy was like, "Oh, did you see anything?" All excited and stuff, and we were like, "Nah, nothing, it's all dust particles and shit, you can't really tell." But yeah, who was the guy that came up there and he was quiet as hell. He didn't even say anything. And the guy genuinely looked at us. His face went pale white, like white as a sheet, and went, "I've not let anyone in. I've been standing right here." And we were like, oh, fucking come on. You know, like, we believe in it, but Jesus Christ, this guy was there. He was standing at the top of the stairs. Come on. And he was like, no, seriously, I'm not allowed to let anyone in. I could lose my job over it. So I wouldn't be standing here waiting for you at the bottom if someone had caught me doing this.
Mm.
And we were like, oh, all right, bit weird. Maybe it was very dark in there. Maybe we just thought we saw someone. Long story short, we woke up the next day, went back to our rooms, obviously, that night, went to sleep. I told my mum what we had done, and she was like, oh, how exciting. And didn't look at any of the evidence. And my auntie comes rushing to the door. It was like 8 a.m. I was tired. I'm a teenager. Don't wake me up early. I was annoyed. And she was like, seriously, shut up and listen. And she played, because I was holding her phone when we recorded. And she went, you know how I said about the cold thing? And obviously the guy came in who was working there last night and told me about the story about the kid. And I was like, well, maybe it's just a coincidence. You guessed it. And then if you listen to the actual audio of the phone, you could hear a child laughing. I shit you not. It was a little boy laughing. And I was like, okay, there's plenty of people in this hotel. A kid could be running around laughing. That's nothing special. And she was like, did you get anything? I went, and we were like scrolling through all my photos. I was like, see, there's nothing that... And then we came across the one that was on the stairs. And I was like, okay, explain that. Ever since then, I believed. But I'm very much a person who's an evidence person. If someone comes up to me and goes, this place is haunted. Oh, really? I'll stay the night and then I'll tell you in the morning, shall I? I'm very much a person for evidence, but that was the day that I was like, okay, no, there's something more. I wouldn't say 100% ghosts, but that kind of convinced me a little bit. Too many inconsistencies, I would say, to be, you know, just explainable for everything. That would be my thing anyway. That's probably the most interesting one I've ever had. The other ones are just, you know, scuffles and knocks and things like that. But...
Yeah, well, that's the thing. How can you disprove what someone is feeling at the time? It's like personal to that person, isn't it?
And ever since then, I came back 2 days later and that phone broke. And I've never found anyone to fix it since. I don't have the photo on anything at all. And I know how that sounds. It's like, oh, how convenient. It's broken. You can't show anyone. It's like, no, seriously, it angers me. I took it to O2, to fucking Virgin, everyone. And they were all like, we don't know what's wrong with it. We just can't access anything on the phone. And I didn't save the fucking photo. So I'm like, son of a bitch. Yeah. That's it.
That's it, easy.
Weird.
Anyone got any other stories?
I don't really remember my experience that well because I was so young. Basically, we had this old rocket chair. I don't even know where it come from at this point. And it was on top of the stairs, and I'd always sit on top of the stairs and just talk to it, is what it looked like. And Mum was just like, who are you talking to? And I'm talking to the lady, is what I said, somehow. And she goes, oh, okay, imaginary friend, or she's just being weird. I mean, look at her. And then we find out that actually my nan's friend used to sit in there all the time when she came round, and then she died. And only after her death did the rocking chair start rocking on her own, and I started talking to her. So,
Do you, know what, do you believe this out of curiosity? This is to everyone. Do you think kids, when they say they have an imaginary friend or they say they see something, and especially to you as well, Sean, do you think kids are more susceptible to it because of their minds and their imagination and, you know, kind of the development of how the brain works? So do you think adults look at things more reasonably, which allows kids to see things that maybe adults miss?
Yeah, I think kids, they don't have any really motives to lie about things, I suppose. We'd say it's like overactive imagination or something, but I don't know.
I think so. I mean, definitely, because it's with animals as well, they don't have the concept of science and what should and shouldn't be. So maybe that's why.
Robin? What's your thought on that?
I mean, what's it called? A hotel that I know has a couple of haunted rooms, and in one of those rooms there is a rocking chair that does rock for no reason.
Weird.
Yes.
I find rocking chairs so stereotypical that when I hear stories about it, I just think of like films and things.
Annabelle.
Yeah, or The Woman in Black. But you know, if I actually saw it, I'd probably shit myself. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I know people always say like it's a breeze or whatever, but this thing was solid oak. Like
A
I
breeze
could
is
basically get a rock by sitting on it myself. Which, you know, after Mum told me the story about the woman used to sit in there, and I never sit in that again.
That one thing I definitely want to do, and it was something that I had planned with Niall to do actually before this COVID shit, was to go to the Skirrid Inn, and we were going to book a room for the night, and we were going to try and, because Niall's like me, he's very much a believer, so we were going to sit there, stay up all night. We were going to buy a spirit box and EVP and cameras that could see in the dark and things like that to try and capture something, because I'm very much a person.
Ouija board.
Oh fuck no, I ain't messing with that shit. No, like even if I was skeptical, I wouldn't want to touch that, because the idea. So you know, this is why when I'm like you see Ouija boards being sold as like kids' toys, it's like, right, okay, on the off chance that it's real,
So game.
you know, on the off chance it's real, you're okay with your 7-year-old girl, you know, contacting a demon. You know, like, no, I'm alright. I'm a shit magnet. I ain't even gonna risk that.
I just found the story about the room with the rocking chair.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
It's called Room 17, and the rooms also have a name, which is called Kingsmill, and is named after Thomas Kingsmill, who
The
it was a
bread.
smuggler who inhabited the inn, which is called the Mermaid.
I like.
And it is said to be haunted by the ghost of a woman who was said to be the wife of this smuggler who found the gang founder, George Gray. She was said to haunt a rocking chair in the room. Guests would wake up in the middle of the night and see the chair rocking on its own and found the room icy cold. The chair was eventually removed from the premises because it caused so many disturbances with the guests.
That I definitely believe. Spiritual attachments to like an object, a trigger object, as people like to call them sometimes. It's, I think.
Would you like to hear the other rooms?
Tell me.
So that was right. That's room 17. Room 1.
Right. Well, I'm gonna pop to the toilet, but I still got my headset, so I can still hear. You just won't hear me.
Oh, I'll come back to that one because I'll save that one from when James comes back. Right.
I can still hear you. Well, that's weird. Look at that. That's strange.
It's not that. I won't be able to. Oh, never mind. I just want to see your reaction when I say it. Anyway, room 10 is called Fleur du Lys. I think it's pronounced.
Fleur de Lis.
Which is Lys.
Lys.
It's French, Fleur de Lis or something. It's said to be haunted by the ghost of a man who has terrified guests by walking through a bathroom wall into the main room. That's all.
Is he naked? Because that would be scary.
It just says that they were walking past. It's just that. Just says the man walking through the room.
I don't
Now
know
this
people,
one,
if they're telling the truth or not, is the same story. So they do say the ghosts are more than just spirits of the dead. Like it's just a memory of the place.
the next one I'm going to say is more interesting because this room has been on Most Haunted.
Nice.
Yes. What did he say?
I don't know. He said something. I don't know. Maybe he's peeing.
Maybe saying shit, I don't know. Right. This one's called Room 16, the Elizabethan Chamber, and was said to be the scene of a duel involving two men of unknown date and origin, although they have also been...
Fake.
Oh, fake. I'm just saying it's been on Most Haunted.
Well, it
Anyway.
depends who the host was. But yeah, go on, sorry.
It says, after fighting through some of the nearby rooms, one of the men was killed, dragged into a adjacent room, and thrown through a trapdoor in the dungeon below. Many unexplained light anomalies have been recorded in the middle of the night. On one occasion, an employee was tending to the fireplace when all of the bottles of the bottle shelf at the other end of the room fell off, and this was in the bar.
And that's where we get the bottle song from. I love it.
The experience caused him. This experience actually caused him to resign.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff like when it comes to pubs. Like, there's loads of footage of stuff of glasses flying off as well.
There's even more.
Why do they do it? It's a nuisance.
There's even more. The ghost of a maid is said to be present in the inn. She was the girlfriend of one of the smugglers and was killed by his fellow gang members as they were feared she knew too much and would expose them.
Yeah, I can believe that. A lot of spirits that have attachments and stuff is normally due to, horrific things like death or... like a lot of people obviously say, oh, it's unfinished business. Actually, a lot of the time it's traumatic death. A really serious kind of death, an unmarked grave, a burial ground being disturbed, unanswered things, that kind of stuff, ironically, it tends to be more of a spiritual attachment.
Do you think they know they're dead, though?
No.
Mm.
Oh, well, if they do that, can you imagine how... Let's hypothesize. Sorry to interrupt you, Robin. Bless you.
It's all right.
Reading off your stories and like, oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, just fucking interrupt me. Assholes.
Fucking
It shows
interesting.
you're intrigued.
Yeah. I don't know. I think. Can you imagine, like, say you did pass away and suddenly you're a ghost and you're trying your absolute hardest to get something across, but you just don't have the energy to do it. Can you imagine how scary that must be? Or how annoying... Either that, or after, like, a few years, you just get pissed off, someone walks in, that's why you start throwing glasses. You're like, oh, fuck off, you don't believe in me anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, we're totally the ghosts to the dead, I think. I reckon the living haunts the dead.
My house is haunted, but I'll get into that after. Sorry, Robin, continue.
It's all right. The next room is called Room 19, Hawkshurst. Is said to be haunted by a gentleman in an old-fashioned clothes. One American guest reported seeing him sitting at the end of her bed. In terror, she spent the rest of the night in the adjusted room with a mattress pulled around her head. And that's all it says. But this is the one. This is the last one that I wanted to save. This is room 1, and it's called James.
Oh, if I end up dying and I turn into a ghost, I'll haunt all you motherfuckers.
And it
Thanks.
said,
I banish you.
Yeah, see, you disagree.
It's said to be haunted by a lady in white or grey who sits in the chair by the fireplace. Guests have reported waking up in the morning and finding their clothes on the chair wet, despite no windows or pipework being near the chair.
Jesus. Yeah.
James, I told you to stop peeing on clothes. It's not how you clean at all.
Christ. It's a disinfectant.
It's sterile and you like the taste.
I don't know, stuff like that is always interesting to me. Like, when I hear stories like that, I want to actually go to the place and stay there. A lot of people, like, who believe are, like, the opposite. They're like, oh, I won't go anywhere near that. I'm like, fucking sign me up. I mean, what better evidence? Yeah.
The actual place where the hotel is in, it's actually quite old. It's a small village. I love the area. It's got certain paths have got like the old cobblestones, and I'm not sure if any of you guys would know this, but an author that lives there has written a well-known children's book, which I used to love when I was a kid, called Captain Pugwash.
I remember you bringing that up before, but I never read it, sorry.
Best way to describe it to you, like, guys, it's funny and it's a big fat pirate.
It's got to be brilliant. Big fat pirate.
I love it.
I love it. It's
There's an
brilliant.
old castle, an old sweet shop with jars.
Oh yeah.
Very, very nice. Nice.
We should all go there.
Well, and stay in the haunted room.
One big haunted
Well,
trip.
I already have a planned trip to Skirridin once this is all done. So. Oh,
We
God,
were
this-
supposed to be going on a camping trip one time.
Yes.
Yeah, it's all been.
Well, me
Delayed.
and Niall, and this is a genuine thing. Me and Niall had like an entire trip from here to Scotland planned. We planned it all out over a number of days, how much it was going to cost us, petrol, stuff like that. And we also wanted to stop off at abandoned places. That was the idea, but we did throw a few haunted places in there as well. And then obviously it never, unfortunately, came to fruition.
Mm.
And one of the places was in Manchester. so we would have stopped off and said hello, Sean.
Just has a lot of underground tunnels which are really old, and they used to use it for transportation of goods and stuff. It's,
London
Would you
too,
like me to recommend you Ghost of Glamorgan then, James? you want
that
to-
is what I've been invited to before. I actually got invited. My auntie knows the person, one of the people that does the tours there, and they invited me because they knew I was interested. They were like, "Hey, do you want to invite your nephew?" And I said no. I said the only reason I would go is if they would let me go around on my own.
Mm.
Tours have a habit of avoiding certain areas, obviously for safety. You know, it's for safety of the people involved, of course. Like that's absolutely understandable. But for me, it's very much a thing of if I'm going to go to a place to investigate, I don't want a place cordoned off. What's the point otherwise? You know, it's like you're forcing me to avoid an area which could possibly have something there. You know, that's why like when me and Niall were like planning this trip, a lot of the places that we wanted to go, when we would call them up and we talk to them, they were like, "You can't. Sorry, we're not letting you." It's like they do it for safety, of absolutely, and safety's priority, of course. But it's one of those things that if you're restricted, it's not always for safety reasons. Sometimes it's because they know the place isn't haunted and they're just trying to make money. So they won't let someone who genuinely gives a shit walk in. Because they're like, oh, they'll say to people that it's fake or whatever, and it's not worth it. But yeah, that's actually something. Is there ever, whether it's haunted or not, is there a place in the world that you would love to visit and actually spend the night, kind of thing, whether it's haunted or not? Because I know
Japan.
Sean's a skeptic. I can't go to Japan. I'm never going to be able to go there.
Why?
Tattoos. If you have tattoos, most places, well, 99.9% of places will not let you in. You can't stay in hotels, things like that, because they see.
Okay then.
Sorry.
Okay then. Go when it's very, very cold. Wear gloves and a coat.
No, because if they find out you have tattoos and you didn't tell them, they immediately throw you out.
Thing is,
Just tell them they're birthmarks.
Oh
Thing
yeah.
is,
so
I
all
know-
the fuck.
They'll treat you like a
Someone
god.
there's a YouTuber that's got a tattoo and she's gone to Japan.
So,
There's
sometimes you can
girls
get away
at
with it.
my old university that's had tattoos and gone to Japan.
It's not that I couldn't go there. I could go there, but a lot of places wouldn't let me stay because they take
How
tattoos as part
about
of the Yakuza.
you can get I'm pretty sure actors do it.
Hmm.
Get special makeup to cover them up.
Do you know
Yeah.
how much fucking makeup I would need? Like, this sleeve is nearly done. That's like an entire arm, or my forearm, my
I know
leg.
there's like a theme park near me which is called like Camelot or something. It used to be called Camelot. It's closed down ages ago, and probably like you can't actually go there and like visit this abandoned theme park. But it's I think it's like not really allowed or something. So I'd probably like to go there or another theme park which has been abandoned.
Isn't there one that's I can't remember the name of it now. It's in America, isn't it? Like there's like that
This
abandoned one.
And there's obviously that story of like the found that dead great white shark in an abandoned.
Jesus.
Oh,
tell you a good place to go. Chernobyl.
See, I
Oh, yeah.
really want to go to Chernobyl. But I looked at the prices and went, well, fuck that.
yeah.
I mean, I really want to go there, but the problem is that I don't want to go there legally.
Um,
Because they're
Oh,
very...
great. Yeah.
Well, look,
Make us accessories.
let me explain. I'm not obviously going to do this. For legal reasons, I'm not going to do this. But the idea of going there is like spectacular to me. Being able to see a place of history that went through such a traumatic thing and see that nature's taking it back over. Absolutely, sign me up. I'd love to go there. But I'd love to be able to go wherever you wanted and not be stuck. Again, it's that thing of being stuck to a guide. I'm very much not into that.
Well, you know, it's still very dangerous over there.
Oh, yeah. No. Geiger
Well,
counters
there's a
and
few places I like to go. It's not just Japan. I like to go to Poland because half my family is from there, and I would love to go to Egypt.
Hmm.
Love to go, but apparently my hair colour isn't good for that country. That's what I heard.
Yeah, there's a few a few places in this world that it's mad, isn't it? How the culture is different in certain areas. That even your hair color can get you stopped from like doing certain things. The chicken agrees. Look how angry the chicken is.
Well, she's red as well, isn't she?
And it's like,
Yeah.
fuck you then.
Greece is another.
Mm.
I'd love to see Greece.
Very, very, very
Pompeii is another place I would like to visit. I wish I did, but
You just want to go everywhere.
I'm like that.
You have a traveling soul.
I'm
I've
like that,
already
mate.
been to Italy. I should say I've been to a few places in Italy. I've already been to Rome. I've been to Portugal, Lisbon, Gibraltar. Gibraltar is a good place to go because you can both spend in UK pounds and euros, and it's cheaper over there as well.
Ooh. Well, I know Devon. I think it's. I had to look it up because I can't fucking remember the name of it. But in Devonshire, there's an asylum up there, the Devonborough Hospital and Asylum. Me and Niall
Oh, that's
really wanted to
James'
go
cup of tea.
there. Me
Oh.
and Niall wanted to go there. It's abandoned. It's not so much haunted, but it's abandoned. And I've always wanted to go to like an abandoned facility. And Niall was telling me the last time he went there, they'd filled it with security. Like there was security everywhere. So,
Are you going to sneak in through a window, taking the camera recorder?
I can't say how you get in there because even videos that get like barely any views, it's that thing of that they sweep everything. But yeah, me and Niall did plan to go there, but even me and Niall questioned it simply because the security is so high there now that it would just be impossible to film anything or do anything. It'd be in and out. That's it. You wouldn't be able to fuck around. You can't hang around in a place and film because it's just you have to leave straight away because the security is constant. Understandably so. You know, if it's breaking down and it's unhealthy, you don't want the nosy little fucking 20-year-olds fucking running around. I'm gonna film all this. And it's like, get out of here! You could die. I don't care. It's beautiful. You know, like.
You just made me think of Talgarth Asylum.
Oh, yeah,
I think they put security up there as well now.
most places now have security.
God damn it.
Actually, you know the video that I put up a few months ago before lockdown when me and Niall went to that abandoned quarry place?
Yes, that was interesting. That was.
That's now filled with security. It's got cameras up and everything. We can't go
Where-
back. I was
Where
gonna.
was that?
I'm trying to think. When we went past the valleys, and it's just past the valleys as we were coming around. Me and Niall were like driving down. And I went, "What the fuck's that over there?" And he was like, "I don't know. How have I never seen this?" And it was just behind the valleys, and we stopped off. And I just like, oh, I hadn't filmed in ages. I was like, oh, let's vlog this. Let's see if something interesting can come of it. And I went to, and this is no joke, I went to walk up that thing, that giant tower. Nah, fuck that. The metal had bent so much that it's meant to be like this because it's quite a high angle. It was like that. And then I was gonna climb up it, and I was like, please, I can't be bothered to carry your corpse back. I was like a stone heavier at the time. He was like, I'm not carrying you. So I was like, okay. So, and then we went to plan to go back.
Valleys. That doesn't help me at all. Which valley?
It was, oh Christ.
Where is it by? Was it in Wales? Was it in
Oh,
England?
no.
Was it Gent?
It's in Wales. Like it's just an abandoned quarry.
Was it North Wales, South Wales, West
Oh,
Wales?
Christ.
North.
Southwest.
South. Yeah, sorry, south. It was where we are now. It was literally. So you know what? if you go past Ogmore, you go past Ogmore by Sea and everything but there, it was like a 20-minute drive just past there. Up in the hills and in the mountains. You know, if you go into the hills, you've just basically got countryside for the entire area. It's like we just had gone past there. You could see down into the valleys. I can't remember what the place is called. I'm really sorry. The place down there. And then you take a left turn, and as we were coming down the hill, we just caught it in the corner of our eye, and we were like, let's go look. That's safe, right? It was fascinating.
Yeah, that's fine.
An eerie place that I've been to is Berlin, and the Holocaust Memorial Monument that's there. It's very eerie because it's like it's built like a maze, and it's not like on flat ground. It's like kind of like wavy and stuff, and you kind of get lost in there. It's like very spiritual and makes you think a lot.
My cousin went there, I think. He went there, I think, at one point. I think he went to two places. He went there and he went to Auschwitz as well.
Yeah, I would have liked to go to Auschwitz.
So we went to Poland.
I'd love to go to Auschwitz, but I feel like I would cry. As weird as that would be to say, like, apparently there's like this entire cubicle just full of hair, and I feel like seeing it would just... I'm a very emotional person, believe it or not. I know.
I would like to go there because of the history, and because it's not that my aunt, my grandpa's sister, got married to someone that actually survived Auschwitz.
Jesus.
That's why I went to see it. See all the stuff he went through.
Yeah.
He wrote a book. He actually wrote a book.
Good for him.
I haven't got it now, but
See, I find stuff
I
like that
remember his
fascinating.
last name, but his first name is Stashek.
Yeah. There you go.
Well,
for anyone who watches the
Stashek.
podcast. Feel
I
free.
don't think I've known him as Stashek, but I think it's short for something. Same for me. Like, I have an uncle called Uncle Mirtek. I don't know if that's shortened as well. My grandpa was called Bronislav, but they called him Bron for short, or Bronek for short. So I'm not sure.
Oh, fair enough. Well, to end this podcast on a little bit of a lighter note, other than
It's Halloween tomorrow. Woo!
traumatic things. Yes, it's Halloween tomorrow. And has anyone got any final questions that we're going to round this off on? Because poor Sean is editing this, because I'm not.
Oh.
Feel my pain, Sean. I've done 20
I
episodes.
don't know. I mean, Halloween definitely isn't the same anymore. I mean, what did you guys used to do for Halloween? What was your Halloween traditions?
Favourite
I
Halloween
only
memory?
did. I never gone trick or treating. I've only ever been to 2 Halloween parties. The one when I was a kid and one that James is. Which don't think.
I love that party. It's just I only remember half of it, and some of the stuff I've been told was probably traumatizing.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't go with that.
Oh, apparently Niall was the funniest though. He came back and everyone was, put it this way, we were all playing Truth or Dare. A lot of people were in their underwear, and Niall came back and went, "I missed the party," and started stripping off. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there has to be trick or treating.
Oh my James, you idiot! That's the wrong. That wasn't
wait.
a Halloween party. That wasn't
No.
mine. That was someone else.
Oh, that's fine. Now won't mind.
All right, let's go back to the trick and treating then. Sean,
Yeah, it has to be the trick or treating. So when you come back with a bucket load of candy, going round. It always feels like you go for miles, but you only go to like one street.
oh yeah, and just praying it isn't poisoned.
Yeah, I remember getting crisps, discos, and I remember those from a neighbour, and I was like, so did
Those
Billy?
are alien crisps.
As a child, you must have been very disappointed.
I know. Only discos.
What is this? I go around
I never
Halloween
got to
to
go
get
trick or treating.
Sure, I only went trick-or-treating once. Ever. I didn't do it after that.
I
Yeah.
would have liked to do it once. I think the downside is my mum's a dental nurse.
I thought you were going to say something else.
She
Like,
was.
Jesus.
Oh my god, you like have Willy Wonka's backstory. No seats because she's a dentist.
Oh.
Aw.
So what, Robin? Just
Even
for
when
that,
that could have sweets, it had to be sugar free.
I'm gonna buy you a bunch of sweets and send them to you. Enjoy Halloween.
Tipped off sweet.
I've actually bought myself some sweets. Actually,
Oh.
I bought if I can find them in my bag.
So, wait.
It's
Oh, go on.
those are my Halloween cakes.
Just all the shit I'm gonna give myself this Halloween.
No, Halloween biscuit.
For sure,
Here
you-
they
I
are.
gave myself diabetes. It was bigger.
Fair enough.
Fizzy bubblegum bottles.
Oh.
Nice.
I love it.
That's fair enough.
You know, it never used to be called trick or treating, though, right? It used to be called souling.
Mm.
You go around and you get like little soul cakes in exchange for praying for the family's relatives, obviously the person whose house you've gone to.
Yeah.
And now it's turned into giving sweets and money.
Now they hand out
Because it was
live
American.
chickens and just whatever they can find. So,
Yeah,
wait.
straight out the door. Have that. I got
So-
all of them.
Who said it? So, Robin said a story. Has everyone said one? Except for me. Don't know.
Yeah, you go.
Okay. Oh, just confused.
You go and then me.
My favourite one is with Steve, a guy who is unfortunately no longer with us, but he'd kick my ass if I was miserable about it because he's Scottish. So, but what used to happen was I used to go around my cousins for Halloween, and we'd watch like I don't know, Most Haunted, as Robin pointed out earlier, and you know we'd listen to some horror stories and we'd play like a bunch of horror games and stuff. And what used to happen, because my auntie used to have quite a big house, is me and my cousin Marcus, being as young as we were, would have to hide in the house, and Steve would come round with a plastic knife. And it was called Murder in the Dark. And he would grab us, stab us, and pull us out, and then tickle us until we were crying and peeing ourselves with laughter.
There's a game called Murder in the Dark.
Yeah, that's literally what we used to play, but instead of it being the kind of the normal Murder in the Dark, he would like drag us out from wherever we were hiding, tickle us literally until we peed. He wouldn't stop until we peed. He was an arsehole. He was a dickhead for it. And then and then he'd be like, I win, and then good memories.
Yeah.
Still don't forgive you, you bastard.
I pissed myself.
Many times. Oh, just a squirt. But yeah, that's my favourite memory. Vic, have you got one?
That was interesting. I think my most favourite Halloween, I was walking around as a witch, funny enough. Little purple dress, little purple hat. We were going trick-or-treating with one of our friends from school's parents. I'm not going to say who. But, yeah, and Mum, to finish off my costume, she carved me a turnip and put it on a string, and it had like an actual candle in there. It was amazing.
That's cool.
Almost set fire to everywhere I went. But and then I realised obviously because they used to carve turnips instead of pumpkins before, way back in history. And then I thought, geez, my mum is cool.
No,
So
that's kind of sweet.
oh, and apparently carving pumpkins is a sin.
Is it?
Jesus
Yeah,
Christ.
something to do with satanic ritual or something. It's not true, but it's still
never-
believed.
Sean, please clarify.
no. I don't know anything about this shit. I've never carved a pumpkin though, so maybe
Like, I looked up,
That's
obviously,
tricky way.
I couldn't remember the vegetable she used, and it was turnip, and underneath it was like, is carving pumpkins a sin? And apparently it is believed so. I mean, it's not true, but it's a superstition. God damn.
All right then. Well, I'm going to call the podcast to an end there, only because I don't want Sean to have to do this for ages and ages and ages and ages and ages, because it's not fair on him. But yeah, thank you to the lovely Robin for joining. Thank you to Vic for joining very much. And as always, thank you to Ghostface/Sean for joining for the podcast as well. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love you all very much.
You didn't thank the chicken.
Fucking chicken. Chicken is the star of the show. I am sorry. Everyone, give a second to clap for the chicken. Everyone clap for the chicken. That's it. There we are. There we are. What a wonderful moment. So, yeah, thank you to everyone for being a part of this. If you enjoyed watching it, smash the like button as always. And if you're feeling a bit fruity, you can always subscribe as well. A little bit of a throwback. A little bit of a throwback. But yeah, thank you everyone for tagging along and joining. It's always appreciated. Myself and Sean did put a bit of effort into this. So we're glad that hopefully everyone enjoyed. Did everyone have a good time? That's the main thing.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
That's the good thing then. Well, thank you all. Oh shit! But
We'll be normal in 2 weeks' time.
yeah, so in 2 weeks' time it'll be back to normal. Maybe we'll do these a bit more frequently, and maybe there'll be something for Christmas. Who knows? But yeah, thank you
Christmas
all.
quit.
Thank you all very much for watching from me and everyone in this lovely podcast. We love you all. Thank you for watching, and good night. Have a fun Halloween.
Bye.
Try not to play too many games.